not the way we have studied in the previous, that is exact function is not there. So let us see what this bilinear transformation is. So let us go to bilinear transformations. Bilinear transformation. Now, what is this bilinear transformation? Suppose you have a function in the form az plus b divided by cz plus d. The transformation in the form of w equal to az plus b divided by cz plus d, where these are a, b, c, and d. These are constants. A, B, C, D are constants. These may be either real constants or they may be complex constants. Then we say that this is a bilinear transformation. And sorry, to ensure that this transformation is conformal, the constants have to satisfy the condition that AD minus BC is not equal to 0. If this condition is satisfied, then only the transformation will be conformal. Otherwise, what happens? The derivative f dash z will be equal to 0, and at that point, the transformation will not be conformal. To ensure that this f dash z is not equal to 0, the constants have to satisfy this condition, that is AD minus BC is not equal to 0. Then this transformation will be a conformal transformation. Can give an example, just it will be in this form, like 2z plus 3 divided by 1 plus I into z plus 5 can have. Okay, so any constants A, B, C, and D, they can be either real or complex constants. Suppose the function is in this way, then whatever the transformation it takes, such transformations we call them as the bilinear transformation. Okay, now here this bilinear transformations, whenever we go for mapping, we get the points. Now suppose we say that z maps onto itself. Z maps onto itself in the W plane. Onto itself in the W plane. That is, suppose you take a point I in the Z plane, you take a point I in the Z plane, and it maps onto again I in the W plane, then we call such points as invariant points. Invariant points. Z maps onto itself in the W plane. Suppose I can write here, suppose Z maps onto itself in the W plane, then we call it as the invariant points. Such points are called as invariant points. So Z maps onto itself means W will be equal to again Z. So if I put W as Z here, is Z is, I'll take this one here. So if I put W as Z, Z will be equal to again AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D. If I simplify, CZ square plus DZ is equal to AZ plus B, right? If I take this on the other side and multiply, we get CZ square plus DZ equal to AZ plus B. Or it is CZ square plus, if I take this on the LHS, then I'm taking Z common, again taking D on the other side, you have this. This is a quadratic equation in Z. It is a quadratic equation in Z. That means you will be getting two values of Z. You will be having, when you solve this, you will get two values of Z, Z1 and Z2. Now these are called as the invariant points. These are called as the invariant points of the bilinear transformation W equal to AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D. Okay, so this is about the bilinear transformation. I think I have already shared you the notes. So in that notes you have this already written there. So only this much is there. AD minus BC must not be equal to 0. Okay, write about this one then. Invariant points. Can just leave some space to write what is bilinear transformation from that notes you have. So just write about the invariant points. So write that if Z maps onto itself, if Z maps onto itself in the W plane, then write this W equal to Z, that implies Z is equal to AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D. So this if you solve, okay, write this. So you can write the roots of the equation, one, I'll call it as equation 1. Say Z1, Z2, are defined as the invariant points. Or they are also called as fixed points, of the bilinear transformation. In short, this bilinear transformation is written as BLT, bilinear transformation. Now it has some properties, this bilinear transformation. It has some properties. Now what are those properties? First one is this bilinear transformation. If W is a bilinear transformation of Z, then Z will be a bilinear transformation of W. If W is a bilinear transformation of Z, then Z will be a bilinear transformation of W. That is one of the properties. So it is the other way. If W is the transformation of Z, Z will be also a bilinear transformation of W. That is, if you are expressing W equal to AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D. Similarly, Z will be expressible in terms of like what I can say, I will use other P W plus Q divided by RW plus yes. You can express this Z also in this form. So then we call that Z is a bilinear transformation of W. Okay. So another property is, second property, the important one, which we'll be using for solving the examples, is the cross ratio of 4 points. The cross ratio of 4 points is preserved in a bilinear transformation. That is, that cross ratio is given by this W1 minus W2 into W3 minus W4 divided by W2 minus W3 into W4 minus W1 is equal to Z1 minus Z2 into Z3 minus Z4 divided by Z2 minus Z3 into Z4 minus Z1. This we call it as the cross ratio of 4 points in the bilinear transformation. Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4 are the Z points, and W1, W2, W3, and W4 are the W points. It is easy to remember. You can just write 1, 2, 3, 4. They are in order here. And in the denominator, W2 minus W3 you have. W2 minus W3 first. But here it is in the reverse way. W4 minus W1. Again, the same terms are there, same suffixes for your Z. So see that you remember it correctly. By doing examples, we will be using this cross ratio. Okay. So this is second property of bilinear transformation. One more property is a bilinear transformation. A bilinear transformation, it always maps circles or straight lines, maps circles or straight lines in the Z plane, into again circles or straight lines, circles or straight lines in the W plane. Can anybody explain what it is? What it means? Can anybody tell what it means? A bilinear transformation maps circles or straight lines into again circles or straight lines. Can anybody tell what it means? This mapping of circles. So we have seen already the mapping. When you have gone to these different functions, that is W equal to e raised to z, W equal to z square and all, you have seen that circles, straight lines mapping onto circles, or even you have got straight lines mapping onto parabolas, ellipse and hyperbola. But that is not the case in this. That is not the case in bilinear transformation. If you take a circle in the Z plane, it maps onto either a circle or straight line only in the W plane. Again, if you take a straight line in the Z plane, it also maps either into a circle or into a straight line only in the W plane. Circle may map onto circle. You may have circle to circle, or a circle will map onto a straight line. Similarly, straight line will map onto a circle, or a straight line will map onto again a circle only in the W plane. So these are the properties of a bilinear transformation. So let us go to examples. Consider an example. Find the bilinear transformation. Find the bilinear transformation which maps z equal to 1i minus 1 onto the points w equal to I0 minus sign. I0 minus sign. Also find the invariant points. Also find the invariant points. Okay. So you are given with 3 points in the Z plane that map onto 3 points in the W plane. So that tells that 1 in the Z plane, it maps onto I in the W plane. Similarly, I in the Z plane, it maps onto 0 in the W plane, and -1 in the Z plane, it will map onto -I in the Z plane. Now you have to find which that bilinear transformation is. You have to find the function in the form of W equal to AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D, which has mapped these points. The mapping is already given. You need to find the function that will transform this points into the given points. So for that, we'll consider the cross ratio as I mentioned earlier. So we'll consider the points here as Z1, Z2, Z3, and Z4. Either take Z1 as Z or Z4 as Z. Anyone? So Z1, I will take 1. Z2, take them in the same order. Z3 is -1, and let us take Z4 as Z only. Let us take Z4 is not known, we'll take it as Z. So W1 will take I, W2 is 0, W3 is -I, and we'll take W4 is equal to again W. So we have taken the 3 points. Now we'll go for the cross ratio. We know that. W1 minus W2 into W3 minus W4 divided by W2 minus W3 into W4 minus W1, it is equal to Z1 minus Z2 into Z3 minus Z4 divided by Z2 minus Z3 into Z4 minus Z1. Now we just need to substitute the points and then find a relationship between W and Z in the given form only. Let us substitute the points. W1 is I, W2 it is 0, W3 is -I, W4 is W. W2 is 0 minus W3, it is -I. So it becomes +I. Minus of minus, it becomes +I. Then W4 is W. Minus W1 is I. Now we'll go for Z points. Z1, 1. Z2 is I. Z3 is -1. Z3 is -1 minus Z4 is Z divided by Z2. What is Z2? It is I minus Z3, it is -1, so we'll make it plus, and Z4 is Z minus 1. Hope I have substituted correctly. Check it once. So this we have got. Let us write it in this. Have I written correctly? Yes. No, 1 point if you make mistake, the total will go wrong. Just check it. I minus 0 and -I minus W. W2 minus W3 and W4 minus W. 1 minus I minus 1 minus Z, then Z2 minus Z3 and Z4 minus Z. Okay. So what we have here, I minus 0 is I. I'll take this minus outside and write it as I plus W divided by, again you have I and denominator is W minus I. It is equal to, I take again this minus outside, 1 minus I, 1 plus Z, taking minus outside from the second term. 1 plus I plus 1 is there, I written 1 plus I. Then Z minus 1. minus cancels, and here I also cancels. Now we need to simplify it and get it in the form of, as I written, W equal to AZ plus P divided by, it has to be in this form only, where A, B, C, D are constants. So for that, you have 1 plus I, 1 minus I and 1 plus I. Let us try to eliminate, multiply and divide by its conjugate so that it simplifies. It is W plus I divided by W minus I. It is equal to 1 minus I whole square, product of these two. It is not that you have to go this way only. You have to simplify it in any way that you want, but the end answer should be in this form only. You have to try to find what is W in terms of Z. Now this 1 plus I to 1 minus I, it is 1 minus I square. A plus B to A minus B, you have A square minus B square. So W plus I divided by W minus I, 1 plus I whole square. I'll just write it, 1 plus I square minus 2I divided by 1. I square is minus 1. So it becomes 1 plus 1 into we have Z plus 1 divided by Z minus 1. So what it becomes? I square is minus 1, plus 1 and minus 1 cancels, minus 2I divided by 2 into Z plus 1 divided by Z minus. Z plus 1 divided by we have Z minus 1. So 2 again cancels. 2 again cancels. Minus I is there. I'll just write here. W plus I divided by W minus I is equal to it is IZ plus I divided by, I'll multiply this minus here down. So it is 1 minus Z. Here the terms are multiplied by I, but minus I have taken in the denominator so that you can write it as 1 minus Z. Now, how to get W from this? One way is either you can go for cross multiplication and try to collect W terms and express W in terms of Z. Another one is, because it is in the form of like plus I and minus I are there, if you add these two, you just get W. So we call it as componendo and dividendo. If you remember, you might have studied it in your high schools. By componendo and dividendo, anybody remembers what that property is? What do you mean by componendo and dividendo? Anybody? Any fraction x by y is there means you can put it as x plus y divided by x minus y. Any fraction, numerator divided by denominator, can be written as numerator plus denominator divided by numerator minus denominator. That is the property componendo and dividendo. So we'll apply it on, if you are applying, you have to apply it on both sides, on LHS as well as RHS. That is why I multiplied this I inside so that we can simplify it correctly. So what we have? Numerator W plus I plus denominator W minus I. Denominator, we'll write it as numerator minus denominator. Again the same here, numerator plus denominator divided by numerator minus denominator. Simplify this. What happens here? I cancels, we have 2W divided by W plus I minus W plus I it is equal to IZ plus I plus 1 minus Z. No simplification here. Divided by it is IZ plus I minus 1 plus Z. Okay. So what we have? 2W divided by this
Plus minus W minus cancels, ma'am. Denominator.
Yes, yes. We'll get 2 the I plus I. That is, we'll get 2I, that is equal to IZ plus I plus 1 minus Z divided by IZ plus I minus 1 plus Z. Okay. So this we have. Now, we can see that only W will be remained on the LHS if you take this I on the other side. That is, have I written correctly? I is there on in numerator, denominator both. Oh, okay, when we added and okay. What we have here, if you multiply by I, what does it give? Shall I write directly? If you multiply this I to the numerator term, so what it gives? I square Z, that is, we get minus Z, plus I square means it is minus 1, plus I into 1, minus you have I into Z, divided by this IZ plus I minus 1 plus Z. So W equal to plus I minus I cancels here. No, it is 1, no? So it is minus 1 here. It is minus 1. So what we can write is in the form of no simplification as of, I think. Any simplification is possible. Can write it as it is. A Z plus B we want. That means you have to take Z common from these two terms. If I take Z common, what remains is minus 1 minus I. Then we have minus 1 plus I, remaining terms here. From first and last term, we have taken Z common. So minus 1 minus I remains. Divided by the denominator, again you have to take Z common. So Z into, we have 1 plus I. Then the remaining terms, minus 1 plus I. So this we can write as your W. This is the mapping of your, you have got AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D. Can we go for any simplification? Shall we if we multiply by 1 minus I, will it simplify? If you just check it, just don't write. Let us check. If you multiply and divide by 1 minus I, what happens? We have Z into, I take minus outside, it is 1 plus I into 1 minus I. And again here we have plus, I'll write minus 1 plus I and 1 minus I. It means to take minus outside better. We can take minus outside and write it as, if I take minus outside, what remains? It is 1 minus I. Divided by this Z into 1 plus I into 1 minus I minus, again take minus outside, it is 1 minus I into 1 minus I. So minus Z into what? 1 plus I into 1 minus I, just now we had simplified, it is 1 minus I square. That means you'll get it as 2. So I'll just write here 2, then minus. What is 1 minus I whole square? It becomes 1 plus I square minus 2I. 1 plus I square means again it cancels because I square is minus 1. You get there 2I divided by, again we have Z into 1 plus I into 1 minus I is 2 minus, similarly you have here 2I. It gets simplified, better you do this. So 2, if I take common. Shall I take -2 or else any? If you take -2 outside, it is z plus I divided by, if I take again -2 outside, it is I plus, sorry, I minus z. So -2 gets cancelled. So we have W equal to z plus I upon I minus z. So this is your transformation. That maps the given points. It is in the form of AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D. A is 1, B is I, C is Z it is. That means you have to take this as C. C will be -1, D will be I again. Not necessary to write this, just I'm telling you that it is in the form of AZ plus B divided by CZ plus D. Now further you have to get the invariant points. For invariant points, W is equal to Z. So put W as Z, we'll get Z is equal to Z plus I divided by I minus Z. What it gives? IZ minus Z square is equal to Z plus I. So we'll have Z square, taking these terms to the other side, Z square plus Z minus IZ plus I equal to 0. These terms are kept here only. They are taken the LHS terms on the other side, so it becomes plus Z square and IZ becomes minus IZ. Now it is Z square plus 1 minus I into Z plus I equal to 0. It's a quadratic equation. You have to solve this quadratic equation to get the invariant points. We'll go for the Sridhar's formula, minus B minus B. What's the formula? What is your formula to find the root to solve the quadratic equation? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. What is your x equal to? Nobody remembers, or you are not ready to tell? Yes?
Minus B into plus or minus square root of 4a minus
B square minus 4ac divided by it is 2a. This is your formula. Okay. So minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4a into c divided by 2a. A is 1 here, b is 1 minus I, c is I. Simplify this, minus of 1 minus I plus or minus under root 1 plus I square minus 2I minus 4I divided by, we have 2. So it is minus of 1 minus I plus or minus under root, what will get there? I square is minus 1, it cancels. Minus 6I divided by 2. Just keep whatever you get as your invariant points. So this is their bilinear transformation. Let us take another example. Find the transformation find the bilinear transformation that maps 1 I minus 1 onto 2 I minus 2. Also find the critical points. So again, the same invariant points, fixed points, or they are also called as critical points. Now, which are your Z points and which are your W points? It's not given here. In the previous example, it was mentioned which are your Z points and which are your W points. Which one will take as Z points and which are your W points? Quick. These points map onto these points they are given. So usually, what will you write? Usually, what is given? Usually, what will you write? Z points map onto the W points. Okay. Usually, it will be like that only. Z points mapping onto W points will be given. So whatever the first are there, we have to consider them as the Z points, and the second ones are the W points. So Z1 is 1, Z2 is I, Z3 is minus 1, Z4 is Z. W1 is 2, W2 is I, then minus 2, and we'll take W4 as W. Again, apply your cross ratio. By cross ratio, I'll write W on this side. W1 minus W2, W3 minus W4 divided by W2 minus W3 into W4 minus W1, RHS Z1 minus Z2, Z3 minus Z4, and we have Z2 minus Z3 divided by Z4 minus Z1. Substitute the points. W1, 2 minus I minus 2 minus W divided by W2 minus W3, and divided by you have W4 minus W1, that is W minus 2. The Z terms, Z1 minus Z2, Z3 minus Z4, Z2 minus Z3, minus of minus it becomes plus. Then Z4 minus Z1, Z4 minus Z1. So what will be the simplification? Any term cancels, sir? No? It is 2 minus I. I take minus outside. W plus 2. 2 plus I. Here it is W minus 2. 1 minus I. Again, let us take minus outside from the second term. 1 plus Z. Then 1 plus I. Z minus 1. So how will you simplify? See, simplification can be done in any way. You have W plus 2 and W minus 2. So we can go for componendo and dividendo, but before that, let us simplify this terms. So let us multiply, minus cancels, however, cancels from both sides, LHS and RHS. Let us multiply by the conjugate. It is 2 minus I into 2 minus I divided by 2 minus I into 2 plus I, W plus 2 divided by W minus 2. Again, here we will multiply and divide by 1 minus I. In the LHS, we have multiplied and divided by 2 minus I. In the RHS, we will multiply and divide by 1 minus I. 1 plus Z upon Z minus 1. See what we get here. 2 minus I whole square means it is, in the term it doesn't get cancelled. What you get? 2 minus I whole square. 4 plus I square minus 4I. Will it be become more complicated if you multiply and divide? Again, in the, because if it is 1 minus I, then 1 plus I square, there the term cancels. There it is 2 plus I, so you get 3 minus 4I. And again, the numerator and denominator both will be the terms. What happens if you multiply here by 2 minus I? Will it be simplified? Just check it. Instead of this, if you take these two terms on the other side, if you take totally the terms, what will be the simplification? Will the term cancel? At least we will have it on the one side. So the simplification is only this one here, lengthier it will be. If you multiply like this, on both sides you have complex numbers. Again, you need to simplify it. I think better it is, you will take these two terms on the RHS as you have done here, and then let us see what we get the simplification as. We'll keep only W minus 2 upon W plus 2 upon W minus 2. And here you have 1 minus I, let us multiply it. I'll write 1 plus Z divided by Z minus 1. Now let us multiply these two terms. It becomes 1 into 2 plus I minus 2I minus I square. Denominator 2 minus I plus 2I minus I square. What it simplifies into 1 plus Z, Z minus 1 into, we have any simplification here? I square is minus 1. Minus minus it becomes plus, shall I write? Minus I minus 2I will be minus I square is minus 1. Now in the denominator similarly, 2I minus I, it becomes plus I, and here it is minus I square means it becomes plus 1. Now it is Z plus 1 upon Z minus 1 into, we have 3 minus I divided by 3 plus I. Okay, so now let us multiply inside. So it becomes 3Z plus 3 minus IZ minus I, 3Z minus 3 plus IZ minus I. I just multiplied with 3Z plus 3 will get, then multiply by minus I, so it is minus IZ minus I. Again multiplying by 3, we have 3Z minus 3. Multiplying by I, we have IZ minus I. Now we will use componendo and dividendo. By componendo and dividendo. So in the LHS, it is W plus 2 plus W minus 2, W plus 2 minus W minus 2. The same here in the RHS, we'll add the denominator and numerator terms. I'm adding here divided by numerator, keep as it is, minus numerator, denominator. So I'll change the sign here. It becomes minus 3z plus 3 minus iz plus I. Now here what happens? 2 cancels. We get 2w. Denominator w cancels. 2 plus 2, it will be 4. Now what happens in the numerator of RHS terms? Plus iz minus iz cancels. Then minus 3 and plus 3 cancels. What we get? 3z plus 3z, it is 6z. Then minus I, it is minus 2i. Denominator, the one who are left over will get cancelled here. 3z and minus 3z cancels, and plus I and minus I cancels. 3 plus 3, we have 6 minus iz, it is minus 2iz. So 2 divided by 4 means you have 2. Let us take it on the other side. W equal to 12z minus, or cancels with this 2. If you take 2 outside, this 3z minus I. Again, if you take 2 outside, it is 3 minus iz. 2 cancels. Now, if you take this 2 on the other side, you'll get 6z minus 2i divided by 3 minus iz. Now, this is your W, the transformation, bilinear transformation. I think we are out of time. Try to find the invariant points here at home. Just put W equal to Z. That means you'll be getting Z is equal to 6z minus 2i divided by 3 minus iz. Solve this quadratic equation and try to get the invariant points. We'll stop here.
Ma'am?
Yes?
Ma'am, please send today's recorded video, ma'am.
Today's, yeah. See, usually what happens, these recordings won't be downloaded